Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Coming at you, baby.
Oh, we hadn't heard this in a while.
What do you mean we hadn't heard it in a while? We heard it Friday.
Coming at you.
Not on a Monday. Or Tuesday.
Y'all played it Friday?
Of course, we always play it Friday. It's Fabulous Fight Song Friday. We just haven't had a Victory Monday for a while. Yeah. We were talking over it. That should count as 2 wins, don't you think? I think the Cowboys won that game twice, right?
Conference?
Maybe 3 times.
Divisional? It's going to count as 3 times.
Well. We have a
that?
Victory Monday here inside the SWBC podcast studio. And this is Mick Shots brought to you by Miller Lite. And Mickey already has his nose to the grindstone because there's another game facing him in 3 days.
Boy, that's going to be quick, right?
But it's the Giants.
But we can talk about the Giants tomorrow.
Let's talk about the Commanders. Let's talk about what they call Dallas Week in D.C.
Boy, they spoiled a lot of people's upcoming Thanksgiving. I'll guarantee you that. Although there was quite a few Cowboy fans in that stadium. And I was sitting there beforehand, and when I'm thinking about all the people or all the guys that weren't going to play, and I'm sitting there going, oh, these poor people. They were in the lower bowl, right? Good seats, 50-yard line, right behind the Cowboys bench. And I'm going, I wonder how much they had to pay for those seats. And now the Cowboys are going to go out there with this team. And, how wrong you could be.
I had a good time just watching it. I was downright giddy, I got to admit it. I was in the hotel room. It was time to check out. And I wasn't going anywhere.
You paid for a late checkout?
No.
Okay.
I knew the manager, so, you know.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're Everson Walls.
Well. I must admit, I told a little lie. I said that Mr. So-and-so said that I was supposed to have a late checkout. And they believed me. Like, oh, that was easy.
You know what?
Go, come on.
That's funny because my column that's going to go up as soon as our Outlook starts working here again today, I said, I know these people in the stadium were probably coming out of their skin. I said, but if you were watching at home, I bet you got up off your couch and started dancing. It was just unbelievable.
It really was.
I don't think I've seen a game like that.
Especially, say the last minute 40, maybe?
Whatever it was.
There were a total, from the 3:02 mark on, the last 3 minutes of the game, there were 31 points scored.
It was 3-3 at halftime. 3-3. And only because of a blocked field goal, a missed field goal, their missed field goal.
Cowboys led 20-9 with 3:05 left. With 3:02 left, the Commanders scored with then a 2-point conversion, which made it 20-17. So you add it up. Final score was 34-26. So the Commanders in the last 3:02 scored 17 points, and the Cowboys scored 14 points. 31 points in 3 minutes.
Wow.
So the Cowboys ended up scoring 2 return touchdowns for a total of 20 seconds. Turpin's was 13 and Wanye Thomas 7.
Turpin time.
Hey, pick the click.
Man.
And Turpin's score came with 2:49 left, and Wanye Thomas came with 14 seconds left.
Which I'm sure everybody on the bench is yelling, go down, what are you doing?
Yeah, the look on McCarthy's face. The TV shot to McCarthy, and he had this yes, and then, what's he doing?
I even said it, and I was like, I talked to myself in the press box, and I'm going, go down.
How about the best 360 return for a touchdown
that kid's
in history?
Unbelievable.
I mean, that was the fastest 360 I think I've ever seen.
It turned the game around. basically, because you're sitting there at 20-17 with 3:02 left, and this Dallas offense was going to have to do something. Yeah. Otherwise, Jaden Daniels in Washington was going to get another chance. And I think they have the capability of throwing an 86-yard touchdown pass.
Turpin's he's unbelievable. He's funny.
He talks a mile a minute. He talks faster than he runs.
Geeked up after the game.
Oh, you should have seen him. And on and on.
Someone said he's got a career as an auctioneer.
I heard that on the ticket this morning.
That's funny. That's so funny.
So when I asked him today, I said, do you think he mishit the kick, or can he not get it to the end zone? And he goes, oh, no. He goes, I know that guy. Okay. I played against him at Oklahoma.
Austin Seibert.
He's a good kicker.
He can boom it.
They were trying to mess with me, kicking it short, line drive.
Yeah, Larry Izzo, their special teams coach, had some tricks up his sleeve, as evidenced by the blocked field goal to start the game, and then the Cowboys got his number later.
Mm-hmm. And he gets the ball, and it's like, so what do you see after you spin? And I go, because you were going like very deliberately, right? And he goes, I was trying to see their angles. I'm going, okay.
It's amazing.
See their angles, right?
Ankles?
Angles.
It's amazing. He's so good at his craft. He's like a scientist in the lab.
Like Dennis Rodman with rebounds.
He got. I could see it because I could see the whole field. Where we're at. Yeah. You guys got TV, but he started going at the 10, and when he got to the 15, and one guy came with a hand and just tapped him, I go, he's gone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to catch him.
It reminded me of the whole premise of the 46 defense, Bears, right? No one could get by him in the running game. But Tom Landry was always holding that carrot up and saying, but if you get by that first wave, right, you're gone.
Well, that was the premise of this new kickoff rule, because they thought that if you can get by the first wave, we got chance for big returns because there's nobody behind.
But everyone can't make a 360 move, right, to get by the wave. That's where the expertise comes.
Everyone's going to try it now. and they're going to get tackled at the 5-yard line.
There's the oops, because those work too.
Yeah, that's right.
Where
you're seeing that from Zeke, but it's at the line of scrimmage because he can't get past the line of scrimmage, and so he does a 360.
It's swallowed up as soon as he gets the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody makes fun of him. Do they watch the runs when he gets them? There's no hole. It's not like he can't get through it.
With Zeke, it's as if, okay, Zeke's in the game, they're going to give him the ball.
Unbelievable. But so today they started asking him about he wears glasses now, Turpin.
Okay.
And it was like, well, he goes, well, I had trouble reading and I couldn't see distance. And it's like, well, you can see the football? Oh, yeah, I can see the football. I just can't look across the locker room and read those names. They're fuzzy. Mm-hmm. So I finally decided to get glasses. And I asked him, I said, could you see the end zone? He said, always.
So is he wearing contacts?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's got these big.
I know it came out a couple of weeks ago that he had gone to the eye doctor.
Yeah. And he didn't realize it. He said, I had trouble reading.
I remember when I was in fourth grade when I got glasses for the first time, and I thought everyone saw like this. In fact, Everson, I was the quarterback for the 9 and under Irving YMCA Army, and we set a record by scoring no points the entire season. I was the quarterback, and I led our team to 0 points. I was the commander of the Army. So that's when we figured out that I needed glasses.
Couldn't see the
I remember going to downtown Dallas.
What were you seeing?
I was just heaving the ball downfield. And I remember going to downtown Dallas, get my new glasses, and then put them on, and it was like this whole world opened up to me. Wow, there's skyscrapers here. But that's Cavante Turpin. I mean, it's amazing how detail you can see. There's names on the lockers across the way.
Well, as a kid, I think it's different from as a grown man to finally say, wow, woo, maybe the ball looked better. I don't know. Maybe we can see everything much
So
better.
what do you think of all these performances and knowing what they didn't have on the field, which was the most dramatic, best?
I think when the score got to be 20, was it 27-17?
Yep. That was. Did you pick that?
No.
Okay.
I picked it after the field goal.
After the field goal.
27-20.
That's what you picked. Okay.
And Donovan Wilson was my boy, who happened to punch the ball out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was looking.
Because he wasn't in coverage.
I am talking to nobody in the hotel room. And I'm like, 27-20. And then when he knocks the ball, I'm like, I start to text you guys like, nope. Every time I text. So just think, if I would have texted you guys.
Washington would have won.
Right. I was so glad I didn't text. I almost said something.
It definitely makes a difference. It makes a difference where you're sitting watching the game. Yeah.
So, Josh Butler.
Yes.
12 tackles, 3 passes broken up, a sack. I believe he had maybe a tackle for a loss. This guy was on the practice squad.
Do you know why he had 12 tackles?
Yeah, I know, because they kept throwing at him.
Hey, that ain't funny.
But we saw him.
They didn't want to throw it
I've been
bland.
through that, Bill.
They didn't want to throw it bland, right?
We talked about him in training camp.
Yes.
That's why I wanted to interview him, and the 3 million followers on TikTok.
Now you need to go interview him. He was, look.
And we did a full-blown story on him, so I watched him in training camp. I said, this guy's got something here.
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was going to make the team.
Yeah.
I was surprised they got him on the practice squad, right? Well, he just held court today. It's his birthday, by the way.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Nice.
But he stood there and talked to the last person that asked him a question, and it was me. Because he looked at me and he goes, you got something? I go, yeah. I said, what was the mindset going into this game when you had all these guys missing? What were you thinking? He goes, all I know is I've worked hard, I studied, I practiced. This was my opportunity. He goes, and I have to take advantage of everything I've gone through to get to this point. He goes, I'm not worrying about who's not there. I'm there, and I got to play.
You have been talking a lot about him, Bill.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, once you dig into his story and realize, but I first noticed him on the field. I think he had a pick in the first practice at training camp or something.
Yes, he did, of Dak.
Yeah, okay. And so that caught my eye. And then I'm starting, and I knew that they had signed him and he was in camp last year and played in preseason games last year. But it was a late signing because he had played in the USFL.
Okay.
So he wasn't here during the off season. And then you get into the season and he's on the practice squad and you don't pay attention to practice squad guys. Mm-hmm. And so really digging in this year, and then you read it, you hear about his story. And losing his parents when he was in college at Michigan State, and then COVID hit, so he wasn't drafted, but he had 2 degrees from Michigan State, including a master's degree. And COVID hits, he doesn't get an opportunity, and because there's basically pro day got canceled or whatever, and so he's got no chance to even. And so then he goes and makes something of himself, goes to Hollywood and his entertainment career, and starts up his. He's an entrepreneurial spirit about him, but at the same time he's still working out and stuff. And it's like 3 years pass by. Damn. And then finally he gets a call from the USFL Michigan Panthers in 2023. This is like 4 years after he graduated from Michigan State. And, hey, we need you. And so he drives.
Hold it right there, too, because they asked him, how did the Michigan Panthers know about you? And he goes, I got no idea.
That's my thing.
Did you know somebody there that, said, hey, this guy can? He goes, no. He goes, they called me one night, and he goes, and thank God I answered the phone, and they said, we'd like to sign you. And somebody said, did you have an agent? He goes, I didn't have an agent until last year. Mm-hmm. He goes, I didn't.
So he was in California, and so he said, give me 2 days. he drives to Michigan and plays for the U.S. And then the Cowboys see him because they scout the USFL, and then they give him a shot right before training camp last year. And then they liked enough about him that he was on the practice squad all year out of West Mesquite High School here.
Wow.
I mean, it's an amazing story.
Well, and
he's, so he's 27 years old. He's not like some young pup
Right.
coming in here.
And that's good.
And
That's good.
he's got a maturity about him.
they asked him about because they asked him something, and he says, "Well, I've got patience. I had to wait, wait
You
for
ain't
my
lying
chance."
about that.
He goes, "But he said I had a goal board, and I had all these sticky notes on it." He goes, "One of the sticky notes was sign a contract in the NFL."
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he was going through his 3-year deal, just trying to get back in the game. And here he is today. How about this? And I think this is indicative of just what happened yesterday. In the locker room, opened at 11 o'clock. I left there about 11:35. The guys talking were Wanye Thomas, Josh Butler, and Cavante Turpin. There was no Dak Prescott, Zeke,
Lamb.
And by the way,
CD. It was those three guys.
but those are the guys we wanted to talk to.
Yes, and those are the guys that,
That deserve
made
to
that
talk. Yeah.
victory possible, right? And I guarantee you, Josh Butler didn't know he was going to start until probably Saturday. Diggs is questionable with some, I don't know what it was, groin, hamstring, whatever. And then he doesn't even go to the game. When you're questionable, you don't stay home. And now it's like, okay, you're up, you're starting.
Wow.
And I'm sure Washington looked and go, number 31's out there. Okay, we're going to throw at him.
Hey, that game plan, just scratch that.
And he should have had that intercept. He said, I said, you wanted that interception. He goes, oh, man. He goes, I had it. But the guy, when he put his hand up to try to catch it, it went right in my face, and I couldn't see the ball at the end. But he jumped that route. His guy caught it, but there was no mistakes like a missed tackle or a missed coverage.
That led to bigger problems.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he did his job, and it's a pretty neat story.
This game reminds me of, I think it was 1987 Cowboys versus Cardinals in Texas Stadium, and we had Steve Diassi playing outside linebacker. Right,
The deep snapper.
and middle linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean, quintessential middle linebacker. He's that fire plug, right? So you put him on the outside now, and I think we had Jeff Rohr on the other side. And the Cardinals needed the game to make the playoffs. And I don't know what happened to us that game, but we started playing our asses off. And those linebackers, that little crew that was just put together at the last minute, they played so well. And we beat them, and we knocked them out of the playoffs. I believe that was 1987. And it was, the feeling is that you had no shot in the beginning. And when you go into a game and everyone says you have no shot, and then there's this feeling that's in the huddle that was different from any other feeling that you had in the other games that you should have won that you lost. This one was, oh, hell, Diassi's in, Jeff Rohr's in. Like, oh, my, what kind of game plan can we come up with? And I don't think the game plan mattered. For some reason, the guys in that huddle played perfectly for what they can do. And the Cardinals couldn't get over it.
That's why I'm sure there's people out there going, well, son of a gun, they just messed up a draft pick, right? And it's like, go tell those young guys in the locker room that, right?
How do you play for a draft pick? I don't know how you do that. If I'm on the field as a player, does this mean I make a play today,
No,
Coach?
it's people in the media, right?
No, that's my point.
Yeah.
How do I do that? As a player, do I make this play?
You're sitting there going, I got the opportunity of my life,
Yeah.
right?
So do I go out there and not make plays?
I need a contract.
Is this rehearsal?
It's unbelievable to think that way. That let's just tank, right? Yeah, go tell those guys that are trying to make a career to go tank. And I thought McCarthy was really good after the game when he said, "This was this game. He told them this Saturday night. He goes, "This game is about who we have playing, not about who we don't have playing."
That's right.
Because if you looked at that, oh my, you realize the top 5 paid players did not play in that game. And it's not just money. We're talking experience. You got 3 guys, Dak, 9 years, DeMarcus Lawrence, 11, Zach Martin, 11, Brandon Cooks, 11, and then Trayvon Diggs with his 5. That's 40. I think it was 47 or 50 some years of experience that was not in the game, and they played like that.
Yep.
So all the people out there also that were, banging the drum that Washington's turned this thing around and they got it figured out and they know how to run a franchise now. Go think about their a tipped Hail Mary from being 6-6 right now.
And having lost 4 of the last 5 games, if not for the Hail Mary.
Well, I mean, there were previous games where we had a chance to do then what we did last night.
And didn't make the play that they needed to make.
That's right. Or made the mistake that you should not have made. And so when I think about that Cardinals game and other games that I've seen and played in like that, it didn't matter who was out there. The game plan was put together perfectly, and the guys didn't make the mistakes to lose the game themselves. And we've seen where we could have done that, I would say, in the last at least 3 out of 5 ball games that we played. We could have realistically won 3 of those last 5 games.
Well, Baltimore, 3-point loss. You were 1 down away from getting the ball back, down by 3, and you let them have the first down. The Atlanta game, they were in. And think about this, how they started the game. Blocked field goal, missed field goal off the right upright, which, by the way, when he was warming up that direction, I was watching, and his ball was getting pushed to the right.
Yeah.
And he didn't compensate enough for the wind that was up there that it didn't feel like
tell
it
him
was
about
on the
it?
ground. He knew. I could tell the way he was.
You should have gone down there and told him.
He left the ball too far in the middle.
Playing a walkie-talkie in the back of his pants.
Third.
I don't know if you've noticed it, but you appear to be pushing it right.
Third possession, Dottle loses his first fumble of the year. And then what happened? The 5th possession, they had another bonehead thing that took place. And it was like, and it's 3-3 at halftime. So it was like, this is what you expected, right?
Yeah.
Except for the missed field goal, the blocked field goal, although, I'm sure with the couple of the offensive linemen out, you had to reshuffle who was out there on field goal block. Oh, I know what it was. It was the block punt. And you still win the game.
And then the 6th possession, you were 3-and-out punt.
Yes.
And then finally the 7th possession, with 14 seconds left in the half, you had the 41-yard pass to Jalen Brooks that put you in position for the tying field goal.
Jalen Brooks, too, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Another name.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of Mick Shots, and happy 28th birthday to Josh Butler. In the break, I'm going to treat Everson and Mickey to the hit from Josh Butler that's been posted on that 3.3 million subscribers are listening to today on TikTok. That would be Pretty Brown Skin by Josh Butler. And Mick Shots continues in a moment.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation, it's time to get the giving season going. Tune in to see country music superstar Lainey Wilson and a special guest perform during the Salvation Army's annual Red Kettle Kickoff halftime show this Thanksgiving on Fox. Every donation stays in the community to provide help and hope for those in need. So tune in to watch Cowboys Giants and Lainey Wilson this Thanksgiving and give today at SalvationArmyUSA.org.
Mickey asked me what degree Josh Butler got at Michigan State. He got a master's in media and information. So there you go.
And singing his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
So
very talented.
I wrote down here on my game book, at 5:16, Schoonmaker scores that 22-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, the Cowboys in the fourth quarter had kicked a field goal. So in the entire fourth quarter, 41 points were scored.
That's right.
Think about that. That's about as bizarre as it comes.
Especially, I don't think I've seen a Cowboy game end like this in a long time.
I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So, Bill, I think everybody must have been listening to our podcast, so they picked up on the Steve Berline.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. I heard they said it on the TV broadcast. I didn't hear it. Somebody said they heard it on the broadcast.
Maybe it was on the radio broadcast.
Maybe
I mentioned it on our Cowboys Game Day show on CBS yesterday, and Babe Laufenberg was on the show. Now, you weren't here Friday, and so you didn't hear. I was talking about the fact that in 1991, a backup quarterback went into Washington, an eventual Super Bowl champion Washington team. Cowboys were 5-6 at the time, 6-5, 6-5. And Aikman got hurt. And Berline
beginning of the third quarter.
And so Steve Berline comes off the bench and leads them to a 24-21 win.
Berline. I used to love
him. And, Berline is a radio analyst now on the Compass broadcast of Dallas Cowboys games. Nice. And so he travels with the team. So he was at the game yesterday.
So I saw him before the game. He was doing his homework, and he said, somebody just told me that it's to the day when I came in for Troy and we won 24-21. I said, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Babe may have told him because I said it on the maybe I said it on Thursday when you were here. Okay. But it was November 24th, 1991. It was 33 years ago yesterday that Berline led the Cowboys to a win on the road at Washington 24-21, and it's what is pretty much the iconic footage of Michael's touchdown,
right?
The pass to Berline. You see it on all the career highlights for Michael Irvin, where he makes the catch and
does a spin around.
Kind of a spin around like a Turpin.
And that was the winning, and that put him up 24. Washington scored late to make it 21.
So, yeah, we found the CBS call of it, and it was Summerall and Madden doing the game, and it was typical Summerall, where his call was Berline, Irvin, touchdown.
So Troy got hurt early. I think it was the first possession of the third quarter, but they finished the half. They called a Hail Mary, and I remember Aikman talking about it afterwards. He goes, they called a Hail Mary. And he goes, every time they call the Hail Mary, I get intercepted. And he goes, and it messes up my quarterback rating. So this time they completed one, I think it was to Elvin Harper, to end the half. And he was thinking, aha, the worm's turning now.
Mm-hmm.
Something good
Was that the
might
game they
happen.
started the second half with an onside kick? Or maybe it was a different game at Washington.
No, it was that. I don't know if they started the half.
I think the second.
But they had one.
Yeah.
For sure. Because that was the one Jimmy got in the locker room afterwards, and he basically said, if you're gonna if you're gonna get in a fight with a gorilla, you better carry a big stick. He was trying to do the Teddy Roosevelt, deal. He had
But
it all messed
doesn't
up.
walk softly.
Yeah.
He doesn't walk softly and carry the big stick.
He said, and he grabbed Giesick, and he goes, yeah, if you're going to hit this guy, you don't just tap him, you got to slug him.
But you look back at the Cowboys' 90s teams, and, they were hovering around 500, and they go in there, and Aikman gets hurt. Berline comes in, and they win that game, and they rattled off 5 straight wins and made the playoffs.
That's what I
and
remember.
beat Chicago in the playoffs. And then lost to Detroit in the second round. And then the next year, of course, the Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
Think about this.
That's where they questioned should Berline have come back, Troy have come back
in that Detroit game, and
he was mad because they didn't start him and they didn't think he was healthy enough. Yeah. And then they brought him in late in the second quarter, and it was too late. Mm-hmm. Think about this: backup quarterbacks for the Cowboys. You heard of Clint Longley?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Washington.
1974.
1989, the only win of the season, Steve Walsh.
Yeah.
Then Berline.
Against Doug Williams.
Doug Williams, who was coming back from an injury, and he should have never played.
That was my only interception
No,
I got
you
in
intercepted
1989, and it was a tip pass.
You got Doug?
I got Doug. It was a tip pass. Yeah.
Wasn't it like 13-3, 13-6?
It was 13-7, something like that. Yeah.
Have you ever mentioned that to him before? Or, since then, do you ever mention it in 1989?
Well, no, because
you got too much respect for him.
Well, no, he's got his power is a little bit higher than mine because he kicked my ass back in the day. So I'm still trying to. I never caught up. I'm sorry. And now here we are, Hall of Fame.
Remember that one time I got you?
Right. Exactly.
You know what? And then so that was the only win of the season, and it was for some reason it was a Sunday night game. So we're all on deadline, right? Trying to, and of course they win that game, and then in And then 91, it happened. And now this. I mean, I remember talking to somebody. We were in Georgetown before a Cowboy-Washington game, and some guy started talking. He was a big Redskins fan, and he was like, yeah. He goes, that damn Clint Longley ruined my Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
he said I was still sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat my turkey. But yeah, Cowboys backup quarterbacks against Washington, and now this one, it's quite a legacy.
Well, you're going back in time to that 1991 game.
Oh, by the way, the 91 game. Let me add this: had the Cowboys not beaten Washington, they were going to go undefeated. Because the only other game they lost, I think, was at the end of the season when they didn't need to win. And they wanted to keep everybody healthy, and I think they got beat like it was the second to last or last game of this. They only lost 2 games that year, if I remember correctly. But they were undefeated going into that game.
Well, maybe this will rekindle the rivalry. This goes into an era that the Cowboys have now won 6 of the last 7 against Washington. Mm-hmm. But now that they've got Jaden Daniels and with Dan Quinn over there,
right?
Maybe because it's been a long spell now since the Dallas-Washington rivalry was really much of a rivalry, really. I mean, not the storied rivalry it's been in
not
the
the
past.
one that we wrote a book about.
Yeah. and maybe this will set it off again.
Well, and the fact that they've got Dante Fowler and Armstrong and Biotish on the team. So I'm sure those guys were the first time they got a chance to tackle some of their teammates, or former teammates, I should say.
We have a stalker outside.
Nate in Frisco?
Nate in Frisco.
Yeah.
Just dying to come in. Well, you know what when we did the picks to click, his pick to click was time of possession.
That's right.
At the end of the
exactly
at
right.
the end of the first half, the Cowboys. No, at the end of the game, the Cowboys had the ball 35-12 to 24-48. How about that?
You know, that Nate he's something else.
Very astute.
And at the end,
that's a good word. That's a good word. He's very astute.
At the end of the half, I remember looking it up just because I remember him saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys had the ball 18:07 and the Commanders 11:53. Only 11 minutes 53 seconds.
Oh, Rico had a game. This guy's
Somebody asked me about
really
him.
getting
I
solid.
was like,
really getting
guy was
solid.
running with his hair on fire.
Oh, man, that's all the time. That's all the time.
He was running like a tush push without the push.
If you just give him a sliver, just give me some air, he's gonna try to split it.
Well, you're talking about Josh Butler. How about the guards?
Yes.
I mean, you're playing without your perennial Pro Bowler, Zach Martin, and another Pro Bowler in Tyler Smith. And you got T.J. Bass, an undrafted guy, at right guard. And at left guard, you got Hoffman.
And go further.
Or vice versa.
Hoffman was
backward.
right.
Bass was on the left side. Yeah.
And then they brought in Awesome Richards several times, which they should have. Just left him in there.
We're trying to keep it positive.
Oh, sorry. And you had a rookie at center. So you had 4 guys in there, and it's like, are you kidding me? And I think they only gave up. Did he get sacked once? How many sacks do they have?
Oh, and it was a give up. But it was a give up at the end of the game when you're killing the clock.
Oh, was that? They didn't give him a sack on that, did they?
I believe so.
It was Deron Payne. I think it was. Anyway. I thought those young guys did a heck of a job.
Well, I mean, when you hear about what Nate says, talk about time of possession, the simplicity of it is games being won in the trenches.
Right.
That's just what it all comes down to. Who's going to be able to sustain drives the most, and with the amount of points that we had, especially with the special teams play, that really gives you a way to breathe. You know, it gives you a chance to not go so deep into your playbook. Right. As long as you're moving the ball the way we were moving the ball.
You know, the other guy that played his butt off, CeeDee Lamb, and it wasn't his 10 catches. It what he was trying to do after the catch. Those 67 yards were hard.
He moved the chains. They were, because they would double team him almost every time.
Right.
So they made. I don't know what adjustment they made, but instead of going into the teeth of it, they seemed to just hook him up to where he can get a chance to make a play, or make the catch, and make a play afterwards, which is exactly what happened.
All right, we'll continue that thought when we return. And I did confirm the sack was on the give-up play at the end.
No,
when they're killing time. Yes, they credited Deron Payne with a sack with less than 2 minutes left in the game when Cooper Rush was just killing clock. All right, more Mick shots in a moment.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, Crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry. Even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation, Amanda Foster has been named your 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan for her dedication to the team and spicing up the game. Vote for Amanda to be named the ultimate NFL Fan of the Year at NFL.com/Fan of the Year.
All right, we continue. Final segment here of Mick Shots on a Victory Monday after a big Cowboys win in Washington. Mickey is studying the play-by-play of the game, or something else he wants to cite that happened in the game.
They credited Clark and Vigil for that tackle.
Yeah, it was
Clark.
Special teams assisted tackle.
Yeah.
For
It was kind of scary though, because
it was.
No, it was because he didn't see it.
Yeah,
he came out of nowhere.
Is that why? Because he seemed like it just. He hit a wall, and he went down immediately.
9 seconds to play.
I'm surprised they didn't review that play, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Well,
I thought
I'm sure they did, and during the delay.
I thought he dropped the ball.
I thought he did too.
Oh yeah, they came out with it.
It was such a long delay that I'm sure the replay assist looked at it and they decided against it, I guess, but because it was the final second, so it was under.
Yeah, but
not something you can challenge or anything. So,
but it allowed them to throw a Hail Mary.
Yeah, and so they must have decided it was inconclusive when the ball had come out and when he was down or something. I don't know. But all right, anything else that you would like?
Well, this is weird. So on the Hail Mary interception by Mukwamu, they got in parentheses here. Oh, I know. They gave him a pressure. Odigizua knocked the hell out of Daniels when he threw it. They rushed.
Yeah.
They didn't just send three guys. They were like, we're coming after you.
By the way, speaking of Odigizua, 70 defensive snaps yesterday, and he was in on 64 of them. 64 snaps.
And that's 2 games in a row.
And he was 57.
That's right.
He was 57 of the 64 snaps Monday night, and then 64 of the 70 snaps. Golston was in on 61 snaps on Monday night and 56 snaps this game. When you look at players that this team can least afford to lose, as thin as they are at defensive tackle, Osa would be one that, wow.
He always has been. He always has
What did
been.
Mozzie end up with?
Mozzie had 34 snaps. Linval Joseph had 4 snaps, and Carlos Watkins had 6.
They've basically given up on those guys.
Marshawn Nealon had 19 snaps, so it was good getting him back.
Yes.
But especially Osa. I mean, what he means to where this team is right now, well, you cannot lose him.
He was just in the way all night.
You
love that. You want your defensive tackle or nose guard to be in the way all the time.
And they don't have anybody to put in there.
No.
that can make anywhere near the impact he
And they
makes.
finally shedded Jordan Phillips, who was doing nothing. See, they took chances on all these marginal veteran guys and really got nothing out of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was kind of excited when they signed those 2 guys this offseason.
Their names.
I'm like, whoa, okay, here we go.
And the other part of that, it wasn't in the off season. It was during training camp where they acquired them, and it was like that was the strategy going in. We're not paying high dollar during unrestricted, and we're not. And the other part of it is the compensatory picks that they get for not signing guys in unrestricted free agency for next year's draft. That's why they waited until that was up before signing Zeke. Okay, and then Kendricks was not an unrestricted free agent. He was a lone other veteran free agent that they signed. So they waited until all that passed, and they waited basically until training camp to acquire those guys. And I think McCarthy talked about it that he wants to have his guys in here throughout the whole off-season program. But that's where this team was. That's where this team was this offseason, where they decided to go that route instead and give a shot to the young guys. And there weren't young guys.
so 2-9 Giants next. I know we'll talk about
A Giants team that Malik Neighbors was saying some things after the game yesterday. I mean, they did not show up for their game against Tampa Bay yesterday, basically. And
they had Tommy DeVito at quarterback.
But it was like the front office sent a message last week that when they released Daniel Jones, and the team sent a message back yesterday. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of team shows up on Thursday.
And did I hear what was the score? Like 30-something?
30-7 was the final.
And they scored the touchdown right at the end?
Yeah, it was Tampa Bay was up 30
So they were getting shut out.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Tommy DeVito.
the fans
This would be the second time.
The fans look at that as an insult, right? I would rather you not score. Right? You know, come on, you score.
Well, and there was some question on DeVito too. He injured his shoulder, but apparently
Drew Lock
Brian
had
Dable
one.
today said that he believes that DeVito will be able to go on Thursday, although he hadn't talked to the training staff yet.
Where's Tyrod Taylor when you need him, right?
He's
They
not
got
there.
Drew Lock. What more do they need?
And they signed Tim Boyle also. They signed last week to the practice squad and then they let Daniel Jones go. And by the way, waivers is up on him at 3:00 today.
Somebody's going to pick him up as a backup.
bring him in.
quarterback.
They won't pick him up. They won't pick him
Not
up
at
off
this-
waivers.
they're gonna
but
have
they'll
money,
sign
not
him.
with this money, yeah.
In San
Well, not with
Francisco,
that
I
money.
predict San Francisco is that team that will.
Because
He said he wants to go playoff team, guys. Just letting y'all know.
They started Allen, San Francisco.
They started Brandon Allen because Brock Purdy's got a
Thank you
shoulder
for
injury. He's
laughing.
out.
He said he wants to go to a
Oh,
playoff.
I got it.
No one
Funny,
got it,
Chris.
but it's okay. It's okay. I'm just back
I
here.
got it.
San Francisco, by the way, just one game ahead of the Cowboys record-wise. They're 5-6, and they play at Buffalo this week. So if Dallas beats the Giants and San Francisco
They have the
loses
same
at
record.
Buffalo, they will have the same record, 5-7.
Certain teams you just want to do badly.
Well, you know,
Well, let me play this game with you.
how about
There
this?
was a report out there they're thinking about putting McCaffrey on IR. So I saw that.
The Cowboys are only in the loss column 2 games behind Washington.
Have you looked at the schedule, Mickey?
Yes, I have.
Could be 5-7 on Thursday.
I have.
Then Cincinnati is here for
can
a
beat
Monday
them.
night game.
We can beat them.
6-7. Then at Carolina, 7-7. Then Baker comes here for Christmas, the 22nd of December. Pull out that one, you're 8-7. And you got Philadelphia and Washington the last 2 games.
Well, and now Washington's got to play the Cowboys and Philadelphia the second time still. And somebody, maybe I heard, I turned on NFL radio when I was coming in. Somebody pointed out that right now Washington's got the last wild card spot.
Okay.
if it ended today. Mm-hmm. And they pointed out the Cowboys were only 2 games behind them in
That's crazy.
the
Now, Washington
win column or the loss column. It's 2.5.
Yeah, they still got a bye week left.
Yeah.
And so they are, 7-5 now?
Yes. The Cowboys are 4-7.
Yeah. So they play Tennessee this week, but the Titans just they went into Houston and beat the Texans.
Wow. Come on, man. You saw that?
Yeah. And then they're at the Saints, and the Saints are resurgent now. And then they got the Philly, Atlanta, and the Cowboys. They may not win another game. No, I'm kidding. All right, that does it for Mick Shots on a Monday, and Nate in Frisco just can't wait to get in.
He keeps hovering.
You better
hovering.
Hold off on flexing that last game of the season.
There you go. All right, a message to the NFL from Mickey Spagnola. All right, have a great rest of your Victory Monday, and we will shout at you again tomorrow at noon.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?